So what's the podcast name, mate?
Podcast boy? Do you want something cringe or based?
Cringe or based? Something like Cringe, like the Drunk Monkeys podcast.
Welcome to Simp Gamers 101. Okay, so disclaimer, that me and the boys, we like to get a really raunchy, so if you have thin skin or get offended easy, I strongly suggest you switch to a different podcast and just straight up just listen to something else. So yeah, let's go like head first into the concrete boys.
You're talking points and shit.
Diving, baby, let's go.
Podcast for the boys.
He's got you named Brody in there.
Brad?
Yeah.
I honestly thought you were Brody for the longest time.
Man, not even a
Nah,
word.
but look at question one, bro.
I know, I'm looking at it, man. I already know what my thoughts are on that.
That's crazy.
Okay, do you want me to be the interviewee or the interviewer? No, actually, I'll go the interviewer. What are your thoughts on widowmakers' ass? And if it is, why are you a pedophile?
That's crazy. My thoughts on Widowmaker's ass in Overwatch 2, obviously, because I didn't play Overwatch 1.
Both equally as thick.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. See, I would argue that, like, it's a little bit small for me. I like the Bunda femme, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I like I'm large and in charge, so...
Yeah.
When we're
Large
talking
and in charge.
Large and in charge.
That's a
So when
new
we're
one.
talking about ass, it's good shape, nice and grabbable, for
Yep.
sure.
Mhm.
But like if I'm hitting it from the back, it's kind of small, like similar to like Brad and girls he likes. He likes girls with well shaped.
You like twigs?
No, dude,
Well-shaped bottoms.
shape is oversized for me. So I think Widowmaker's ass is like top tier, probably.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, so
Like-
he likes a little...
Like I don't want girls to have those like indents when their ass is
Yeah.
so fat. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah.
you want to stay away from like the...
Yeah, but that's like
chunky.
that's
Yeah.
like the glute muscle.
Yeah, yeah.
That's man. Like I mean, if it's just there like large amounts of cellulite and like it's only there because like it's being pushed like that, not great. But like if it's all like bottom, it's unreal. Like it's a nice firm grab for sure.
Man, think about the long term though. Like shape is better because if you go too much size, by the time they're older, you end up marrying them.
True.
It's got a lot of sag going on there.
True. But like I'm not thinking about marrying people. What about you? What about you, DJ Deuce? What are you thinking?
Me, I like them if they're over 18.
So that's more towards the pedophilia question, I guess.
Yeah.
But
how
Widowmaker's
old is Widowmaker?
Oh gosh.
She looks like she's in her 20s.
She's gotta be, right?
I'm scared to answer this question.
Like Widowmaker seems like a sorority girl for some reason.
Yeah. If you look at like the lore, yeah, let's take a look.
This is
got it.
necessary to know.
I'll go
man.
ahead first.
33.
Okay, so-
Okay.
She's
looks
a
amazing
baddie.
for
Dude. She's a
33.
baddie for 33.
Does she have a kid? Because if so, that is definitely a MILF.
No, that's dangerous, man.
Man, MILFs are unreal.
Hot take from. Actually, no, that's not a hot take. That's
not a hot
facts.
take.
That's
MILFs
facts.
are unreal. And if you disagree, you're wrong.
Yeah, you like MILF, eh?
Goddamn right.
One specific MILF of a certain friend there.
The
Yep.
mustache speaks for itself, boys.
Yeah, well, my buddy's friend, I hit on his mom all the time, and I actually commented on her Instagram.
I've seen that. He also made out with her one time.
I did make out with her
Whoa.
one time. that
At the
is
bar.
true.
Pretty outrageous stuff there.
Yeah,
But
well,
hey,
I go for it.
I did. No, I wouldn't. But it'd be funny because whose mom it is.
Yeah, true. It's just funny in general to go for moms. Like, that's not even a hot take. That's just
No,
true. Like,
that's
it's
just hilarious.
It's just funny.
Nothing gets the boys together like someone bringing up how there's hot moms around.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually gets
Absolutely.
dangerous.
So,
Yeah.
number 2, boys. What do you think... when do you think Fortnite is going to die?
As a former
Professional
professional
Fortniter.
player,
Is that what you're gonna say?
that is what I'm going to say, because I made 2K, okay? You shut up. I would argue that I was a pro. I entered a few tourneys, won a few dollarinos. I don't think Fortnite is a game that will die. I think it will hold... It might not be the best or most watched or played game in the world, but it will never die. Unless they make some, like, awful changes to it. It's just held at, like, such a high regard by the community.
And there's so many collaborations in it. They can't.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it died in season 3, but
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like from all competitive standpoint, for me, it died at the end of season 8.
yeah.
Right when they started bringing in all of the extra. I mean, I guess a little bit before then too, but like the planes were like you could deal with the planes. There was a few other things you could
Like
deal
the
with.
gimmicky shit.
But once they started bringing in like the monster truck cars, all the the
Like this-
mechs, all that gimmicky stuff,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or like when they started putting like what do they got Naruto in there now and all this other shit.
Oh, when he whips out the gun, it's just like, okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah, when you-
lightsabers and stuff too.
yeah, when you see that from a competitive standpoint, it's just like mid. Like you're not gonna have fun because something stupid's gonna kill you and you're gonna get frustrated.
Yeah, I think the first like time that shit hit, and I was like, "Wow, this is going downhill." It was like the end game stuff when you could pick up the Infinity Gauntlet and just shit on everyone.
Yeah.
That shit was goated. But I mean, like it was fun, and then I was like, it's not fun anymore.
Well, I think that is an interesting point to bring up because I thought it was a different game mode altogether, right?
That's true.
You had to queue into it. It wasn't like it was just in the game, like lightsabers are, like
Yeah.
all the movement is. Like you had arguably Fortnite had the best movement tool in the game, in any game, which
The
was
building?
the launch pad.
Oh, the launch pad, yeah, that's goated.
The launch pad allowed you to move somewhere without a discernible advantage from anyone because, especially back before they added 100% accuracy, like where you had to stop in ADF for a little bit, it was still easy enough to track and hit a few shots and possibly get kills if people weren't moving with their glider.
Yeah.
And
So I did this so many times, man, where I just fucking absolutely ripped someone.
yeah, exactly. But it was one of those things that, it had perfect movement, and then they were removed it from the game completely for a little bit. It's back now, but it was pointless to ever try to add anything extra. All they needed to do was maybe increase the drop rates of it.
Yeah.
But it was goated. And yeah, like you said, the building makes Fortnite just that's another thing that'll just never allow it to die.
Is the building.
Like it's just such a different mechanic.
Didn't they take that out for a bit? Wasn't there something about that?
There's a different mode.
Called no build mode?
Yeah. And
It's probably good to put in because I'm not sweating and hitting 90s on kids, man.
No.
I can't do it. I'm not going to jump in the game and put hours and hours into learning how to build if I want to play Fortnite.
With all the new movement tech, you don't need to build, but with building in the new movement tech, it's stupid. Like that's why old pros have moved away. Like Nick Merckx, Ghost Aiden, they've all moved away from Fortnite because there's just too much. Like
Yeah.
there's no need for that in a competitive setting. And like Fortnite could have expanded its life cycle or lifespan by a large degree by just waiting to put those things in. But when, when it's hot, like for example, when the new Star Wars came out, they wanted to add all that stuff because it's hot at the time and people are going to snag it up and pick it up. But until then, it's just, it's one of those things that, you can't really.
They took the competitiveness out of it.
Yeah.
Like, if they made like a competitive playlist where they kept it just like.
They have one.
Do they have one now?
They do, but it still has all the extra gimmicky stuff.
Oh.
So there's
like
no
take
point.
out vehicles and just have building and then the guns. And
Yeah.
then that can be competitive. And
It's the
people
same
be
thing
happy.
with Destiny, and I know that maybe you two aren't big Destiny fans, but it's a game.
It used to be, man. Used to be.
Yeah, it's a
goat.
game that I hold in high regard, but Destiny 2 has added way too many gimmicky weapons and way too many new mechanics and new things like to just stop you from dying, or the exotics, which if you're not a Destiny fan are singular pieces of armor or weapons that you can equip that give you a discernible advantage over other ones. So for example, an
Goated.
exotic SMG would be way better than a legendary SMG, and they've added way too many that are just too strong and make competitive play in that game unbearable.
Yeah.
Number 3, boys. Are you guys watching NHL? And if so, who's your favorite player?
That's a great question. Honestly, I don't watch the NHL very often. I watch all the highlights, though. I'm the guy that's like scrolling through my YouTube feed and it's just NHL shit. It's like, don't hit the rookies, and then it's just people getting fucked up. I'm like, oh yeah, this is sick. That's
Yeah.
about it, though.
I'm not a hockey guy either. I played a little bit in high school.
One viral, maybe once
I
or
did
twice.
go viral, but yeah, like I wasn't a big. I'm not a big hockey watcher. I'm not a big sports watcher unless, like, for example, with rugby. When
I'll
played,
watch the occasional game
Yeah,
of
well,
rugby.
I watched all the Emily Tutusi games.
Yeah. Like watching people you knew play like higher level.
Yeah.
Just for the support thing, that was different. But no, NHL I don't really watch, and I don't know. I mean, like a lot of the guys that I was friends with in high school like play like high level hockey, like WHL or like QMJHL, but I just never keep up with it, man.
Yeah, no, there's no point. What about you, Deuce?
Hockey? I
Aren't you in a draft?
I'm in a fantasy basketball.
Basketball, right.
I probably, by the sound of things, I probably watch the most hockey out of the 3 boys here. Do you got any siblings in high school?
No, not in high school. I'm the youngest one.
Okay, so
Let's go, baby.
So I actually I check my brother's league stats way more than the chill.
Yeah.
Just
Also something to keep up with it.
because just for DJing reasons, like if we're going up against a team that's like wins every game, then I have to play a certain playlist. And if we're going up against a team that loses every game, then I'll use a different playlist. So you got to do your homework.
Well, you do DJing for hockey games?
Yeah.
That's fucking sick, honestly.
Yeah. Actually, bringing up the basketball thing is kind of funny. There's another topic I'd like to kind of spiral into for a second here with
Let's go into it.
with Kyrie Irving. I don't know if any of you boys know about it.
Pretty controversial, Kyrie
But,
Irving.
Kyrie Irving got hit hard. He posted a clip on Twitter from an anti-Semitist movie or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving is a devious man.
Yeah. And he
He does not give a fuck.
He didn't apologize, nor did he ever state that those were not his beliefs or anything. And he's actually lost his deal
With Adidas.
Nike.
Or Adidas. No, yeah, Nike.
With,
Nike.
with Nike.
Someone Kanye just lost his thing with Adidas. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kyrie lost all of his shooting brand deals with Nike, and he was actually out for 5 games, for sure, from the league. And it could have been extended or whatever, but Kyrie's actually going to retire.
He's gotta go, man.
He's retiring because he believes that the NBA, specifically the Brooklyn Nets, have infringed upon his freedom of speech rights,
Man.
which is true. At the same time, it is true, and they can't force him to say or apologize for anything that he does.
No,
But he shouldn't be publicly making it known that he's not a big fan of anyone that doesn't know. Anti-Semitist means you don't like Jews.
yeah.
So
Kyrie Irving's just an animal, man.
and so yeah, instead of actively apologizing for that, he just didn't say anything and moved on. And then it's a big thing to not really apologize for, but at the same time, I'm more upset that he's off my fantasy team.
Just pissed he's off the
I'm
fantasy
out
team. You
because-
can't get rid of him either. He's too
Well, I can drop him.
Man, you should send him an Instagram message and be like, dude, take it back. I need you for the
Dude, just
fantasy
say sorry
draft.
and play the rest of the season. I need the points.
I need the points right now.
But that would be my biggest concern actually, because I'm not too worried. I'm pretty chill. Nothing bothers me. So when people are like, hey, what about that? I'm like, I don't care. If there's something offensive, I don't get offended pretty frequently.
No, man, people say offensive shit, and sometimes I usually just don't care because I just don't care to get into the argument about it. I just, whatever.
Yeah, well, not
agree.
only that,
Yeah.
but is it offensive to you is a big thing that I have a problem with. A lot of people get offended for other people in this day and age, and there's no reason for that.
Man, even if it offends me, I'm usually just like, okay.
Yeah, fair.
I don't care.
But if we take, for example, or into account the, there's a few of them, but the one I'm talking about, it was a TikTok clip of this guy going around in a poncho with a mustache and a sombrero on.
Oh yeah, and I remember that, and he was basically just mimicking a Mexican accent, wasn't he?
Yeah, similar, and he was talking to all of these college students and
And they're getting
in
super
particular-
offended.
Yeah, in particular, not that it matters, but these white women.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And they were all getting super offended. They're like, that's super offensive. You can't do stuff like that. And he goes to the actual cultural thing. He goes to I believe he's in a big city, and obviously there's those areas where, and he goes to this sort of more Spanish or Mexican era of the city,
And everyone loved it.
everyone loved it. They loved that he was demonstrating culturally.
Yeah,
their stuff.
that one.
Yeah.
That one's.
And so when you talk about offensive stuff, it's are you just doing it to complain, or is it actually offending you? And that's kind of the way I see it.
And it's a blurred line, really, nowadays. You can say something that's not at all offensive to anyone, or and it just people just take it that way.
Someone will find a way to become
Oh, you can make anything sound any way, man.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, for sure.
It's honestly goofy as.
But yeah.
Kyrie.
Yeah, going back to Kyrie. So yeah, it sucks that he won't apologize, but yeah, I'm just more upset about fans.
Man, well, he's a flat earther too, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive he is. He brought it up during the whole COVID thing. He went did some off the rails shit. To be honest, he was
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
he came out of he came out of the flat earther, and then the whole immunization thing for him was dumb because he was sitting there watching the games right behind the bench with no mask on, but he couldn't get on the court. There was a line where I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But
I don't believe that, like, in particular, the government is trying to, like, put stuff into our bodies to, like, track
No,
us or
that's
anything.
stupid as fuck.
Do I believe that, to some degree the government, wants control over people? Yes. But
I
I
do
believe
think
that they're going to, superly infringe and, like, put stuff into you in an injection? No.
So, I mean, like, there was definitely times where I was like, this is honestly too much, man. But I was like, fuck it, I'll just sit through it and wait.
Yeah.
But Kyrie Irving's just an animal, so
But
he was just doing what he was doing.
I was very big on making sure that I just got it so I could do what I needed to do or what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a shot.
I was like, whatever happens, but I want to be able to go out to the bar next weekend.
Yeah,
when
and
they
it was
open
like,
up and
I was
we
like,
can be vaccinated.
I was like, I'll be part of the 80%. We got to get immunized to fucking open this up or
Yeah,
whatever.
for
I
sure.
don't care.
And you? What about vaccination for you?
Vaccination, I'm triple shot, so
I was thinking about getting the third one soon, just because
I already got my booster. Yeah.
I was thinking about it because it's just going around so much, and it fucking sucks to get it. So
What, COVID?
yeah,
I've actually had it twice,
I've also had it twice.
and it didn't affect me at all. Not once.
I also didn't get affected by it.
Yeah.
But I know some people that like were in the hospital.
Yeah, just dying. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like in the hospital, had a cough forever, like couldn't recover their taste for like 6 months, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah.
Kind of like food. Fuck.
Yeah, you want to avoid it, but like, yeah, for sure. Like, I had it twice. The first time I had it, I didn't even know until somebody around me got it, and I went to go get tested, and they said, "Oh, you actually had it already."
And you were like goated.
And I was like, sick.
There was a lot of people that said they had it before, like, it was, like, mainstream that it existed. Like, I know my parents always said that shit. They're like, man, I think we got it in, like, February. I was like, man, we could have just got a cold.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. There's a whole thing about
Yeah,
it.
like, and I'm pretty sure I had it, like, a month ago.
Man, just get sick
And
and
I
just
thought it
stay
was just a
home.
regular cold. Like, it was nothing worse or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, tests are so easy to get now anyway, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
If you get a cold, just take a test. If you don't have it, who cares? Do your thing then. Or don't take a test like a lot of people do.
Yeah, I didn't even test. My sister tests, so I was like 90% sure that I was the one that gave it to her.
So you're like,
So I was like, okay, well, either I still have it or I had it, so
what are you going to do now? Yeah.
as a Twitch streamer, is the platform honestly dying? I just want to know.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I'm not a big Twitch streamer, but...
Not anymore.
Yeah.
You're never like huge, but you use the platform a lot.
Yeah, I do. I mean, in my peak, I was only averaging like 22 viewers anyway. Like, nothing crazy like that.
No, but...
But, Twitch is making some very questionable choices. They've decided to split all the earnings from partnered streamers instead of 70-30 with the streamer 50-50.
Yeah.
And instead they want to boost ad time.
So they're just getting greedy, man.
They're giving ad incentives, like huge ad incentives to like, so for example, some of the popular creators I watch, like Nick Merckx was offered, in 1 month, I think it was $10K to stream 180 hours and put 6 minutes worth of advertisement in a stream in an 8-hour stream a day.
Jeez.
Which 6 hours of advertisement is not a lot, but at the same time, Twitch used to never advertise like that, so
No.
it's like a huge difference. And when you're watching someone live stream something, you don't want to see ads. If you're watching a TV show and you're like, there's
It's
an ad
different,
every
yeah.
5 minutes, you're like, yeah, okay, makes sense. But when you're as a Twitch streamers, it wasn't a thing. But yeah, so they want a lot more of the money that Twitch streamers make to come from ads rather than to come from Twitch itself.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. And there was a bunch of streamers leaving, weren't there?
Yeah,
Like just heading off the platform.
for sure.
So I think Twitch is honestly like, in my opinion, like a Netflix thing. You know how Netflix is like used to be just reign over everything, but now there's other services kind of offering the same thing, sometimes better.
Yeah.
And people are kind of moving away from it.
Well, yeah, Twitch is exactly like you said, getting greedy with the way that it's setting things up.
Yeah.
And so people are moving to less, and Twitch's like TOS, terms of service, is also like way different. Like there's a lot of things you can't do or say. It's very monitored, and
Which
like
is
you can
kind
get
of like-
banned very quickly.
Which is low key dumb.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like they got to be consistent with that. Because there was the one lady who got railed on stream
Yeah.
and was back like a week later, man.
Yeah, and then there was someone.
I love that story.
She just got plowed
Yeah.
on stream, and I was like, yeah, it's been a week. You've had your time out.
Yeah, and then so for example, her, but also then Gideon is a good example where he didn't really do anything bad. He sent, what he was permanently banned for was sending a hate raid to Pokimane.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't even really like a hate raid. They just went over there and they were clowning her because that's Gideon's community.
Yeah.
And he got permabanned for sending, in quotation marks, a hate raid. But Gideon and Pokimane are good friends in real life.
Like, just get over it. man.
And Twitch just still will not, reinstate him.
Yeah, and
So-
Pokemon was probably like, man, it's not that deep.
Yeah. Well, she was the one that took the action at first, but then they talked about it, and then like she realized like, oh, like yeah, it's just a joke. Like,
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, do I think Twitch is dying? Close to it, if not dying now. Like, it's still probably one of the most viewed streaming platforms, but like when you take a look at YouTube, they're just starting to do everything right.
Yeah. Like YouTube has its problems with like still with the whole terms of service thing.
They're a lot better though.
They're a lot better than they fixed it a lot. I know it was really bad for a while.
Yeah.
Between like copyright strikes and like
the
getting
copyright
dangerous
stuff was bad.
Yeah, and then but I think they fixed it all. They kind of listened to the community, and you can live stream on YouTube, and it's pretty good. It's pretty much the same as Twitch.
Yeah, there's no difference except for the TOS in terms of that copyright stuff was very bad, but like what you can say and what you can't say is very like limited. Like the only thing you couldn't say is like very racially motivated things.
Like just shit that's just genuinely insensitive.
Yeah.
Like not even like joke. Like you have to be really bad. Like straight up terrible.
Yeah.
Like
as a person. Yeah.
Like Hitler bad.
Oh yeah.
Old Adolf Irving there.
You're gonna hit Adolf Irving then.
No, but yeah, and they make it better, which I like. It's nice that they're doing that for sure. But yeah, Twitch, I would argue isn't dying because it still has huge streamers. But like in regards to where it was, it is dying. Yes.
Oh, I think it's like the chart where it's like went all the way up, it's hit its peak, and it's just gonna middle out somewhere and chillax. But I mean, I don't know Twitch that well.
Yeah.
So I guess I can't give it too much. But I feel like that's what everything does. Is it goes super high and then it middles out. Same thing with like Fortnite. Same thing with like Netflix.
Yeah. They peak and then they kind of bottom out at like what normally it should. And you know, that's fine. Like it's the same thing with everything.
I think Fortnite's peak was definitely the Travis Scott concert.
I have to argue though.
All time, man. Or the Marshmallow one. The fact that they were doing concerts is actually wild.
Okay. After college / uni, what's your plans? Or if you know your plans, what you guys are doing?
So
you got a dirty plan there, Eric?
Yeah. So after this
male
year,
stripper.
Yes.
Yeah. They'll call me Eugene from Barnard. Anyway, after this year, it's technically my last year at ACC, which is where we all go currently.
Yeah.
But I'm deciding whether or not I want to go back to school or just get into the work industry, start doing some freelancing and stuff. Because I'd like to develop some more 3D aspect to my graphic design. Like I'm not bad at doing 3D work and modeling and painting assets, which is a lot of fun, but it's not something I majored in, I guess, really. Like I'm more into like I majored into graphic design and stuff like that. So I'd like to go to Red River's 3D program, and then if I do well there and I enjoy it, I actually want to go to Toronto for their film school and take their 3D asset course, which I haven't even looked into, but it's a
Toronto's sick, man.
Yeah, that's
Toronto's sick.
That's a huge ball game.
Only thing is like going to big cities is like rent is crazy.
Yeah.
I was looking at a video today about New York, and there was like a 3-bedroom house for $5K, like over $5K
Jeez.
for a month for rent. I was like, that's fucking disgusting.
That is gross. Yeah.
I guess I'll go. Yeah, after school, I don't know. I'm going for one more year and getting like advanced diploma in finances, and I'll probably honestly just work at a bank. Somewhere not in Brandon for a little while, and then kind of figure out what I actually want to do. Like, kind of do like something more creative instead of like, music, maybe.
You want to work at a bank?
Well, I don't
not
want
in Brandon,
to.
Though?
Yeah, well, I don't want to
you
work
go?
at a bank. I don't know.
Why would you move away though?
Because Brandon's cheeks.
Yeah, but where are you gonna move? Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
I'd probably move to Winnipeg, or maybe I'd go like fuck off somewhere like Kamloops. Just say fuck it.
Go to BC.
Yeah, why not?
That's where I want to end up. Like
Just
after I'm done
sick,
school, because that's where like the 3D industry is huge in Toronto and over in BC. So I want to either end up at one of those two places, but
more opportunities, way prettier, nicer, bigger
way
towns.
more stuff to do for hobbies too, like as well. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, feels like Manitoba. There's like all through winter season, it's like get fucked, figure out what you got to do.
There's like skiing and stuff and snowboarding, but you have to travel 2
and
hours
it's
to get
expensive
there.
as fuck, man.
Yeah.
Low key, like if you want to go and you want to rent stuff, it's like $100 a go.
Yeah, for
and
8
then,
hours of skiing.
Yeah, and if you want to go buy your stuff, that's going to be a huge upfront cost.
Nah, I mean, I bought a set of skis and some boots last year for $200, and then
That's not bad, actually.
But that was Marketplace.
Yeah.
Old trusty Facebook
Man,
Marketplace.
Marketplace
I have to get new
goes
boots anyway
dangerous.
because those boots are a little bit small around my calves.
Oh yeah.
You got the big dirty calves, man.
Large calves. So I have to get like so I have two options. I can either get, $800 custom ski boots, or I can try to get like bigger ski boots.
Find something that fits you. Yeah.
Which is probably what I'll just
Do you ski a lot?
I'm a big skier.
You're a
Not
big
as
skier?
much anymore, but I skied, oh gosh, a lot. Like our high school did a trip out to Panorama and I went.
Okay, that'd be sick. I want to do snowboarding. Like I did skiing, and I've learned skiing, and I just think snowboarding would be more fun. But I just never get out there.
I did snowboarding once or twice in high school, but
It's tough.
it is a lot harder. And like
Yeah.
the skill gap between just being able to like go down a hill and then like advancing to like tricks or hitting a jump is like way different on a snowboard.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
on skis, you can hit a jump and land with very minimal training.
Oh yeah.
Like, I would argue.
It's
it's
not that bad.
It's very similar to running.
Yeah. And you can kind of aim both your feet.
Yeah.
You don't have to line it up so well.
Yeah, exactly. But once you know how to do that, doing tricks on a snowboard is way easier than doing tricks on
Yeah, it's like
skis.
the entry gap of
Yeah.
skill is a lot harder on snowboarding. But snowboarding's fucking sick though.
You snowboard, Deuce?
I did. I was like, okay, I'm done with skis. I'm moving into snowboarding, and I fucking spent the whole day learning how to get up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta go like 3-4 days of just eating shit,
Yeah.
and then you find it, and it's like
Exactly.
you're chilling.
There it is.
I used to not with a snowboard at a little hill in my hometown. I would like take my sled and
Yeah.
I would just stand up on it and go down.
Just goated.
Yeah. So we did that, and then I tried snowboarding the same day. But exactly what I was saying, like that entry level, like I wanted to do tricks and stuff, and I wanted to like hit jumps my like day one, which is obviously not probably smart.
No.
But I did it anyway, and it was easier to do that on skis, so I just ran it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
What are your guys' thoughts on the music industry, and did it shit the bed?
Like, what do you mean shit the bed? Like, just in general, the music industry is just fucked.
Like artists are getting like screwed over.
Oh yeah, well, that's fair.
I have
yeah.
no idea.
I don't know. I don't know
Pay
like the.
attention to the music industry.
I don't know the
just listen to
finances
some
of
songs.
it. I don't know the finances of it. I know there's a lot of good music still coming out.
You know a lot more about music, though. What
Not
are
the
your
right
thoughts?
crowd. I should have thought about that. Okay.
No. What are your thoughts, though? Because you like music.
It's rigged.
Yeah?
So Joji, he had a seizure on stage, right?
I didn't even hear about that. Seriously?
This was a while ago.
No. Okay.
This is just an example. He went off stage. He just told, "Hey guys, I'm not feeling it. Like I gotta just step off the stage."
Mm-hmm.
And his record label was just like, "So we're paying you a shit ton of money to perform, and you're not fucking doing your job.
Really?
So get back out there and do your fucking job."
That's pretty fucked up, yep.
He's like actually having a seizure as they talk to him.
Yeah, I think they pretty much
So
like.
let that just sink in for a second.
I feel like they've definitely like. Once you get into the whole like on an album, it's like you almost like, for lack of a better word, you're like slaved by them, and it's like you just get fucked.
Yeah,
It's like they just tell you what to do, and you have to do it because they're paying you so much money.
Yeah, that's similar to like KSI. Like when he first started in the music industry a long time ago, he was like a slave to his music company.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I shouldn't use that word, but he was like enveloped in it, and he actually lost out on 7 or 8 years of money on YouTube because of that. Like, so his second channel was supposed to be his music channel,
Yeah.
and it was registered under his music company like that, and they took all, like 90% of the revenue from it.
Yeah.
And so he just
They take so much
so they
money
just took it all
from him.
from him.
They take so much
All
money.
agreed.
Well, and the worst part is like, as an artist, I feel like once you get to that level where you can be signed, it's almost like you can't get bigger unless you are signed,
Yeah.
because there's just no way to get your name out there without running it like that. And I think freelance artists, like artists that aren't signed, are becoming more popular. Like obviously there's like Chance the Rapper did it, and I think there's a lot of people kind of striving for it.
Young
but
Gravy's headed there if he's not signed already.
I don't know. I have no idea about Young Gravy, to be honest.
Young Gravy did that with a song. Also, who's that other one? Louis Capaldi, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a freelancer and then?
Ended up getting signed, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Which I mean, I don't know. You said that it's more common now, which I would agree with. But like people, like freelancers, were getting signed a long time ago too. Like,
Oh yeah, like they were getting signed, but people are like going through their music career not signing.
yeah. They're earning their money, and they have a manager who's doing everything instead of a company.
Instead of a whole company, yeah. Because
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it was like you just get signed and it was fucked. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking like 80s, 90s. Like if you're not signed, you're not getting
Yeah, you're not
anywhere.
doing anything.
No, there's just not enough coverage. You can't have enough media to get out on your own. So it's pretty much get dicked.
In terms of the music industry, I think a lot of the new singer-songwriters are shit.
You think so? Like what kind of genre though?
So, like, there's so many people that are using TikTok as a platform to get their music out there, which works because lots of people see it.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not even that good. And, like, okay, and this is going to sound pretty fucked up, but hear me out. So, there was this Down syndrome guy who posted a song on TikTok called Diamond in the Rough. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's bad. Maybe we can insert, like, a little clip of, like, the main chorus here or something, you know? And it's not a great song, but everyone hyped him up. And I get that you want to be nice, and that's totally cool, but he spent real money, got it published, and lost like a bunch of money.
Because everyone hyped him up.
Because everyone hyped him up to think he was good. And so now his whole TikTok account is like making music, which he's actually made a little bit of, because he's from the States, so his TikTok account is popular and it gets lots of views, which makes him lots of money. But he's losing all of this money that he makes trying to publish these songs that just aren't good.
Because nobody's listening to them outside of TikTok.
Outside of TikTok, exactly. I think his Diamond in the Rough on Spotify or wherever he posted only got like 200K listens or something. It might be more now. We should check. Can we check?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I had a thought process about this. Oh, yeah.
Diamond in the Rough.
Like
all-time streams or something like that.
With that, too, with TikTok showing so much like coverage of small town music, there's like small musicians. I feel like in the music industry there's a lot of small musicians that make music just as good as the big guys, but they just don't have the like following for it, which kind of sucks, because I've heard some songs by like big artists and they're actually just awful.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone is just like, this is fucking sick. I'm like, oh, this is a terrible song. And then you hear someone with like 1K followers.
Oh, actually, wow, that was a lot more than I thought. Okay, so Diamond in the Rough actually got 6.3 million streams.
Officially now, yeah.
Yeah, which was, I guess when I checked, it wasn't that much. But yeah, like
still, you
can see his other songs have like nothing. Like 300K is not a lot to invest the money that he's invested in this.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the 6 million on Diamond in the Rough gave him lots of money. Maybe like I haven't checked in on this for a while, so like the last time I listened to it was, you know, a year ago or whenever it like basically dropped. So I guess it kind of took off a little bit more than I thought, but you can see on all of his other songs like 74K, 65K, 150.
Well, even you can see in the monthly listeners 60K is not a lot.
Now I don't know what they do in terms
like
of
it's a lot. Like if I had 60K monthly listeners, I'd be pretty gassed up. But
true. But all of this is like the songs aren't good, right? They're just all being gassed up through TikTok.
Yeah.
And then people go like,
well, no one wants to say anything bad about it.
Yeah.
Because it would just be insensitive, really.
Yeah. So I guess I was a little off, but my point kind of remains the same, is that, you know, he spent all this money and, you know, for people to gas him up, and he did end up losing money. Like there was a thing that I did hear about him
just dropping
about losing a bunch of money because he just did, but he's trying to ego him. No, I'm kidding. And you know, that was something that I had heard had happened, but maybe he was able to make it back through TikTok and this one song. So good for him. But yeah, if we can insert a little clip, you'll see like it's not great quality. Like it's not a good song. It's just something that people hyped him up for, and I think that that's happening a lot in the industry right now.
There's a lot. I see a lot of music TikToks.
Yeah, and people are hyping people up on TikTok, and some of it's good. Don't get me wrong, and these guys are sleepers. Like some of them can sing.
Oh, dangerous.
But sometimes a lot of people are just hyping them up for no reason, and then they go out of their way to publish all this stuff, and it's just bad. But yeah, like so I think TikTok is great for anything, like, you know, publication related,
or like you can get so much coverage on it
for no reason.
Yeah, like just anything.
The algorithm is so, like, it makes no sense that something will just blow up and something won't. But yeah, in terms of like actual financial and stuff like that, like I know whose concert was that somebody had a seizure in the crowd of, or like,
Travis Scott.
Was it Travis Scott's concert?
I don't know. A bunch of people died at his concert.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I think what happened was people rushed from the top, like it was like in an arena, and I think they came from the seats and jumped over to the bottom, and like everyone was rushing to the front, and then he just got fucking trampled.
Oh yeah,
I think is what happened.
And then Travis Scott didn't stop the concert, obviously, right? And he got
that was a big controversy
for that. And
well, I mean,
that
you gotta stop the concert, man.
I think he gotta, but at the same time, maybe he didn't notice it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's possible he didn't notice it, but at the same point,
I don't know. I don't know how bad or like the videos. I don't know what it looked like, right?
Jake Harlow He's an arrogant fucker, and he stopped his show
Oh, okay.
for his paramedics.
Yeah, like somebody's got to get out there.
Let's just think about that for a second. Yeah.
So Travis Scott, I don't know. And did anything like really happen? Like, did he lose any label deals or anything like that?
I don't think
He
so.
fell off.
Did he?
He fell off.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything from him since.
So like one mistake can really end
Oh,
your
it can-
career.
oh,
then.
yeah, absolutely.
Similar, like I mean, not the exact same, but similar to the seizure thing, right? Like this guy didn't do something correctly, and bang, that was it. Like,
Yeah.
it's over. You know.
A lot of people get fucking canned for dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Like, remember when John Cherry said those people, and then this got sent?
Yeah.
I don't think it was when he said those people, it was even referring to like any race in particular. He was talking about literally just like a group of hockey people or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, just
Snowflake.
getting shit canned for that. That's
Yeah, for no
unfortunate,
reason.
man.
Number 7. Student watches porn and gets naked. Number 8. The war in Ukraine is still going on.
Pause. What?
Wait, what?
What was this?
What does that mean?
See, there's no question mark.
Yeah, you were just somebody in this school was watching porn and got naked.
Yes, actually.
That's crazy.
Excuse
In-
me. I got naked in the hallway and I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unreal.
All right.
See,
Dude, remember were you there when our teacher got caught watching porn in Elton?
no, but
Dude, Miss Nealon, man.
really?
I'm pretty sure. I guess I shouldn't name drop like that, but
Okay,
I
cut
think
the
that
name.
there was a rumor that a certain teacher got caught watching porn in her classroom on the school computer.
There was a student at our school that was watching porn in the bathroom on his school iPad on the school Wi-Fi.
Oh, we had a devious one in the back of the classroom. You could see it through the window too. It was like literally straight out of like a video where like you could see the reflection in the window of him just banging out porn, just staring at it. It's like, man,
I don't know. But yeah, this kid was like young too. Like he was in like grade 9. Like he had just gotten his school device and he was just ripping it in his
just
school
getting
bathroom.
after it, man.
We actually had like in our school.
No time to waste, man.
Yeah.
He got it. He was like, man, I've heard so much about this porno thing. I'm getting on it.
Yeah, we actually had a dedicated stall in our high school bathrooms
No.
jerking off. Not even kidding.
That's so bad.
It was like a common, like it wasn't like a common thing, but more than just one person did it. And like some people would like think it was funny and be like, yeah, I just jerked off in there instead of shitting. Like that's what I just want to do. And I was like, okay, sick. Let me try it. But yeah,
Never
so
once, man.
nobody used the far left stall because that was the jerk off.
That was where people jerked off, and that's actually disgusting.
Yeah.
There was one time there was a guy schmeating his meat in the fucking bathroom, and the way the lights set up is you could see like the shadow.
Shadow,
Yeah, so someone walked in and just saw a shadow of this guy wanking his meat, and
Legendary.
and it's like happened like more than once, so nobody touched that stall either. It wasn't the designated.
No, not for
It was not. It was not a jack off stall, but it was definitely a stall someone jacked off it, and it was pretty gross. No.
You know, that actually brings up something funny to me. A certain bus ride we were on,
Oh god.
Bradley.
This is about me.
Certain bus ride we were on, and somebody had leaked some photographs.
Some devious photographs.
Some devious photographs that people thought were funny.
It was funny.
What do you mean it was funny?
Oh.
Well, so it was you, Bradley.
It was. We know who it was.
Well, we know
It was
who the
Fart
dude
Sniffer,
was.
man.
Yeah, okay.
It was Fart
Toony
Sniffer.
Looney.
Toonie Looney guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, we're on a bus ride for rugby,
Oh god.
and somebody had sent like. Let me just explain this photo. I guess it's like a Captain Morgan dick pic, like leg up on the counter, dick just swaying in the wind, and it got leaked because he said something just awful to a woman, and it sent it to some group chat that one of the guys on the team was in just to like expose this dude.
Yep.
And the guy got the photo, and it just got sent around the entire school. And like the whole bus ride was just everyone fucking tearing into him about this dick pic that got spread around. And
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like we
it
got the speaker, and we were just
Google translating.
Google translating so that they would read it out. This guy has a small penis, and we were just terrible for it.
It was like this guy has a small penis. That's why his girlfriend left him. Like just airing into this kid
Yeah.
bad.
And
That was bad.
The year before that, actually no, never mind.
I think I pissed in a bottle that bus ride because they wouldn't pull
so
over,
many people did.
and we threw it out the window.
Nice.
I think Eric hit a car with one. Little piss.
I also got in trouble.
Literally a piss missile, man.
I also got in trouble for getting in a teacher's face that bus ride.
What are you talking about? Whose face did you get in?
No name drop.
Right.
But like stood up because I knew the teacher escort really well. Like not escort, not an escort.
I mean, not the teacher.
But like she was like not the coach, but you know how you have to have a teacher involved because it's
right,
student activity. And I thought we were just messing around, and I stood up, and she had said something about smacking me upside the head as a joke, obviously at the time. And I stood up, and I guess she got quite upset that she thought that I was gonna like.
Oh, you did get cheesed for that, eh?
I
think she was going through a tough time at the time, though.
And you know, there's no blame for her, but you know, like
you're a scary guy.
I got in a lot of trouble. I'm not that scary, man. But I stood up and I was like, yeah, do it. And then she just kind of was like, sit down, and I was like, okay. And then I got called into the principal's office the next day and almost got expelled. So that was cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, not even just suspended, expelled.
No, I had to get my phone checked after that.
So did I.
Yeah, we had to go to the police station.
The police pulled up, and it was actually funny. They're like,
I went through my phone so many times to make sure there was nothing scary in there.
Well,
because I was so scared they were gonna see something and just judge the fuck out of me.
I didn't even know the cops were coming to my house until because they came.
They came to your house.
Well, yeah, because they didn't come to the school. Like,
I just drove there.
Oh, why'd you go there?
I don't know. I
Were
just
you told to go there?
Yeah, they were like, come here, whenever.
Oh, we weren't told to. The cops just pulled up and said, "Hey, like you're on the rugby team." Yeah. Okay. Well, we need you to
show me your phone.
This. Yeah. And so I didn't have any prep time.
Oh, I have.
Oh no.
I had no prep time. And,
they don't give a fuck though. Apparently.
No,
in
they
Rivers?
didn't. No, but they just didn't give a fuck in general. So they checked everything.
It was like only if it was that photo they cared.
Yeah, exactly. They only cared about that photo. So they checked everything, and then I mean, everyone that's gonna listen to this knows what My Eyes Only is for on Snapchat.
No, 100%.
So you know, and they're like, okay, well, we need the password to your My Eyes Only.
Fuck off.
And I was like,
your penis in there?
No.
That was tough, man.
No, God. Well, I mean, it file's too large to upload.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
But no, and he's like, hey, do you have any pictures on there at all? And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you can't, like, we're only looking for one picture, so nothing's going to happen if you have other pictures, but I just want to know.
Yeah.
And I said no. And then, because that was at the start, like, before, I didn't think that they knew about My Eyes Only. I didn't, like, they were just, like, cops.
I thought so, too, but I just, like, shaved it out just in case.
They were, like, old cops, and I wasn't sure if they would know, so I was like, okay, yeah, no. And then he says, can I have the password to your My Eyes Only? And I instantly said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And he's like, yeah, for sure. And I was like, okay, so there's definitely some pictures on there. Not that one, but there's definitely some pictures on there. So just so you know. And yeah.
And they didn't care. He said the same thing to me too.
Gave me my phone back, and
he was like, if it's like of personal things, and it's like, then it's not my business. It's only if it's this photo that's getting spread around.
Mm-hmm.
I personally did not have any in the My Eyes Only, so he opened it up. No, I didn't.
That's cap.
No, it's not cap, honestly. And I had to get rid of all the videos of me vaping, so scared he was gonna tell my mom.
Vaping.
Just ripping the chooches, man. I was scared he was gonna see it.
Rip the chooch? That's not what it's
called. The binky, man. The binky. It was dangerous.
Yeah.
It was so funny though. It's funny to look back at now. At the time, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you were so worried.
Like,
it's actually crazy, right? Like now that we're like older and we look at these
more
things,
wise.
we're like, why did we care? Like,
why?
You can't even get in trouble for this shit. Like, really?
No, not at that time. Anyways, I'm sure I could get in trouble though if I did that.
Yeah,
a lot more trouble.
Yeah.
The war in Ukraine is still going on. The locals have to wait in a line for water after Russian strikes. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, stop the war, man. Come on. Stop fighting. Let's be friends, man. Let's go for coffee. Get a few beers.
I'm trying to think. I don't know a lot about. I just know that they're fighting. I didn't pay too much.
Dude, that's actually getting crazy over there.
It's nuts, my guy.
Yeah, like I'm scared one day we're gonna get drafted.
I thought
no
Chernobyl
cap.
was scary. This is fucking on a next level.
You know, I'm not a big news guy actually.
I don't watch the news either. I've
Well,
been only
pay
watching
attention to anything.
That's what we study is journalism.
Yeah.
So we have no choice but to stay up to date.
See, that's the thing with finances. I only keep on financial news.
I don't have to keep up with anything.
Oh,
I just pay attention to like designers I like that's basically it. And they're like, okay, like that's like the only thing that people are like. They're like, hey, like look at designs and other things you like and just keep that in mind. And I'm like, sounds good to me. Like I don't have a problem doing that. But yeah, I've never like had to pay too much attention. I mean, it sucks. Like war is terrible. Like
for sure,
everyone, and it shouldn't be around. But you know, like sometimes people just got to fight out their differences, right? Like.
Yeah, there's people who are so. I feel like governments are so egotistical.
Yeah,
sometimes,
especially bigger ones.
I've seen. I don't keep up with politics, so I don't know really that much. But it seems like every fight that starts, it's over like an 8th grade like miscommunication thing. Like it's just like a bunch of babies yelling at each other. I'm like, man, just take like you just got guns. It's the only difference.
Yeah, you just got lots more people and lots more guns. You can't do that. Well, I mean, to be fair, that's like the world though. Like think about it. Even in like high school or like grade 8, you know, you're like, I'm bigger than you, so I'm gonna pick on you.
Yeah,
you have a funny nose, I'm gonna pick on you. Like just stupid reasons, you know.
What does that even mean?
But you know, talking about like news topics, I guess there's actually I watched a video just because it came up, and my sister was talking about it to me, of Trudeau. Now, Trudeau was and his Liberal Party, obviously. So I hate when people say that Trudeau's a loser and you hate him, and not because but it's because Trudeau doesn't make his own decisions. Like the whole Liberal House has to agree on something for it to happen. It's not just Trudeau being an idiot.
It's not like a dictatorship.
Yeah,
he's just taking the hit.
Yeah, exactly. And
he's the face of it, so he just gets choked.
And so, the conversation was about the rise in, you know, taxes and costs of living, like just in general, like groceries.
Oh, shit sucks, dude. Inflation's going crazy right now.
Inflation, yeah, right. And Trudeau was actually talking about how they're giving rebates on GST, like extra GST rebates.
Yeah.
That rolled out last Friday because...
Yeah, I got a dirty one. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, exactly. And
like an extra $100. I was like, W, man.
Mine was 200.
Oh, that's insane.
So I guess it matters how much you spend?
Maybe? Yeah, make probably.
Like, what? Like, as a finance person, what exactly is a rebate?
They just give you the money you make from taxes back? Or you spent on taxes back, like a portion of it?
Okay, so yeah, so the more you spend...
Yeah, the more you spend. Also what's off your paycheck they take.
Yeah, but that's for general GST, right? Like, that was for, like, the 70 or whatever. Like, that GST is calculated off the money you make.
I think so.
But I think this rebate is generated off the money you spend.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you could probably get a super high rebate if you were to...
Spend a shit ton of money.
Spend money and track it.
Yeah.
You probably have to track it. Otherwise, the government's going to go based off of, like...
Well, it's like the taxes season. I think they take it all off the taxes you file or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you track a lot of your stuff, you're going to get more money back. That's just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But inflation is going crazy. And the market's shit in the bed. So it kind of fucking sucks. But
yeah,
that's a whole nother conversation.
And, you know, that debate, it basically went like this. Like, the conservative lady that was talking was basically like... You know, like Trudeau spends apparently $12,000 on food in his house in a month, and you know I don't know if that's just
crazy.
I don't know if that's just for his 4-person family though. Like think about it like this: is that just for his family, or does he pay his cooks? Does he feed his cooks? Does he feed his staff?
Does he have cooks? Does he invite a bunch of people over for like political stuff? Political
Fancy dinners,
party? Yeah,
things like that, right? Like so, like. Is it realistic that a 4-person family should spend $12,000 a month on food? No. But he's probably got external costs, and you know that. But I would argue that that's not really the problem here. Like you know that those fees are accounted for when somebody goes into office.
Yeah.
It's all the extra, you know, inflation costs and stuff that's coming up. But you also have to realize that Trudeau's got to make money back, right? Like all the money he was just throwing out for curb and all of that.
Dude, it's because of the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Like people were just getting free money for COVID and then now we're just getting dicked on.
And a lot of people abused the system for that. Like a lot of people were taking curb that didn't necessarily need it.
Yeah.
But no one's going to say no to $2,500 a month when there's the application process is literally, do you need this money? You say yes and you start getting money.
Literally. It was just so free. Just a big money move, man.
Yeah.
But like anybody who didn't take it also gets affected by it, which sucks. So it's like if you didn't do it, you're just missing out on the money anyways.
You're just paying out the inflation costs to try to rebalance the market.
Yeah, for sure.
But as you know, the inflation goes up, the market just kind of keeps shitting on itself, right? Like I think economically, Canada's headed for like maybe not, but like a Great Depression.
That's where we're going into a depression right now. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like basically they increase like interest rates and like stuff like that to try and slow down inflation. And there's like the big drop is because inflation was a lot more than they thought it would be. So it's just they're just increasing interest rates and everything, and they're doing all this stuff to try and like slow it down. But I mean, it's just going up. So
yeah, and it's just going to keep going. Yeah, for sure.
For a little bit, and then it'll even out, and it's like there's a whole thing. But who knows, man? Finance is a lot of stuff. Economics is crazy.
Yeah.
Dropped out of that class. So.
Did you?
No, I'm taking it next year.
Yeah, so you can play next year volleyball?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
What about you? Deuce, you know, you ask these questions, but, you know, your takes are a little limited. What do you think about the whole Ukrainian thing going on right now?
I feel sorry because I grew up with Ukrainians, and I basically am kind of Ukrainian because I grew up in a Ukrainian town. So, I'm not Ukrainian. I grew up with Ukrainians to be exact. So it's painful to watch because.
Well, that heritage was always around you, right? So
Yeah.
it kind of feels like your own.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, for sure. It is definitely sad what's going on.
And it's not Russia. It's just Putin. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, but
Well, he's definitely like a force about it because he's kind of like it's a dictatorship over there basically for him. I mean, I know it's like a communism country or whatever, but Putin takes a lot of the shots.
Yeah, like there's not really a lot of voting on it. It's mainly
No, like nobody can outvote.
This is what's happening. Yeah.
But Russia's been in generally troubling times for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that eventually they did something fucking stupid.
Well,
it's just not stopped yet, and they're just being absolutely brutal.
Well, I would argue that, like, and I mean, this is from like a non like political view, but like I feel like people are getting bored, and another world war is just inevitable at this point. Like
At some point, there's probably going to be.
I think that there is going to be one, just because there are like that's what world wars have always been about, is like the social like community of the world is trying to fight back at the big bully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like World War II, who was the big bully? Germany. They just came in and took everything just because, like,
just a bunch of wieners, man.
and then the world was like, no, like, stop doing that. You're not supposed to do that. And then so like at that scale, then you gotta like dumb it down a little bit. So like, for example, like the actions that some people take against like classroom bullies in high school, it's like the whole class is like, stop it, or at least that's what it was like in.
Well, if it was bad, same thing. Like, I don't think it's like that in big schools, but for small schools, I definitely think it was like, you're being a dick. It's like,
yeah,
come on,
like,
man. If you're being a dick to someone that's obviously just can't protect themselves, if you're being a dick to someone that's just being an idiot, then it's like it's just gonna happen, man.
Yeah,
like
exactly. But yeah, so from not like a really like in depth, knowledgeable standpoint, it seems like we're headed towards one, just because it seems like tensions are building. People are getting bored might not be the right word, but people are getting bored, and they want something to happen. So. Yeah.
And nobody in our generation has been through like anything like that, and most of the people that have been are kind of on the way out.
Yeah.
So, like, I think being scared of that, it just isn't around anymore because not people share it.
I also feel like if a world war to happen, it wouldn't go the way that the other ones did.
No, it's completely different.
It would be a lot more side picking, and then instead of like trying to invade a country, it would be a lot more of goods and services being just completely like, I mean, they were cut off back then, but then there was also like physical fighting.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would just be cutting it off, and like the only physical fighting you might see is Russia maybe trying to take some land in the desert to pull back from America, who gets oil from there or something like that, right? So countries that don't like that have relations and rely on these relations for things, like oil or
well, like we're gonna get
industry
fucked.
stuff.
Like,
well,
Canada might get...
No, a lot of Canada's stuff is natural from Canada.
Oh, like, from Canada, yeah. But I mean, like, we outsource a lot of our stuff.
Yeah.
Or, like, I think, like, the reason gas prices have gone up so much is because something up with Russia. I don't remember the whole thing with it, but... It's like, we make a lot of the money we make is from exporting resources. Yeah. And so if we stop making that money for the nation, it's going to be like... Where do we get money for Canada?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is going to be another thing. And then, we'll go into the trenches and be vibing, me and you. It'll be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get drafted, baby.
That's another thing.
Man, I've been playing so much MW2 on, like, Seth.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me the AK-70,
give me my gold fucking SPR.
Done. It's done. I'm quick-scoping,
Give me a gold SPR. They're gone.
It's too easy, man. It's too easy. Dude, lobbies would go crazy in the World War.
True.
Boys would just be shit-talking to each other.
Just yelling across the field at each other. You fucking loser. Quit camping, you fucking pussy.
This guy just sitting in the fucking trench.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, that fucking loser sitting in the back with the SPR. Kobe! He just domed a few of my buddies. Kobe and a grenade.
I would yell it, man, no doubt.
Yeah. Oh, man. You know what? I'd just be one of those guys that runs around with a riot shield in World War. That's how that works. I'm
just sitting in a corner like a fucking idiot.
Just punching at him.
Somebody just walk up and just like fucking, it's like, man, come on.
Oh, man, may as well. If we're sniping, may as well put on the Lockwood,
No, that thing's got that range. It's good to go.
Lockwood's a shotgun, by the way.
Is it a shotgun?
Yeah.
Seriously?
There's a marksman rifle, but also a shotgun.
Oh.
And the shotgun has, like, the same range.
No, it's disgusting.
It's like Modern Warfare 2019.
That thing was gross.
Yeah.
War to COD, what a natural segue, eh?
Yeah, I mean, well, anyway, like I was saying, though, I don't think that this generation of people would ever enter a world war. Like, if like a government tried to pull people into the war like they did before, like for World War II and World War One, it was like if you're
Motherfuckers be dipping, man.
yeah,
I wouldn't come home.
well, no, but like that's not even what I'm saying. It's like back then it was like it was like a forced thing. Like if you were able-bodied, you had to go.
Yeah.
It was very advertised and
also it was
the
like
proper thing.
a cultural thing. Like if
Yeah.
you didn't go, you were like shunned.
Yeah, but nowadays I think that there'd be a lot of fighting for I shouldn't have to go to war, blah blah blah, and then so I think like it's just weird. Like if people like a world war broke out, I think that there'd be a lack of troops on America and Canada's side, and I think places like Russia,
Who can force people?
Japan, where they have these large, like way larger groups of people.
And also, in
Like
Japan,
China,
aren't
Japan.
they forced to go into Japan? They're forced to go into
Yeah,
military.
there's
for
like
4
there's
years
like a
or
way
whatever.
more honorary system in
Yeah,
like
yeah,
China, Japan, Russia, all those places. It's like if your country needs you, you're there for your country.
Yeah.
In America, Canada, all of like North America, basically, it's not like that. Like, well, I guess just those are the two main ones. Probably Britain, like Great Britain, and
Well, like
that
any
area as
more
well.
modernized
Yeah.
countries for sure.
where I think they just end up running out of people to fight for them. Like I think that America would lose a war against Russia right now simply due to the fact that America just wouldn't have the troop capacity.
Yeah, maybe.
Like they have a lot of weapons and tools, but nobody to use them.
And also, you don't want to use those weapons and tools because then we're all fucked, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like tanks, like just
Yeah.
I mean, I know America, like by number, has the largest.
Fleet by crazy amount.
Well, like the largest army force in the world, right?
I think they have I think they have a crazy like sea force too. Like their Marines is like a crazy amount.
But like no one is like the numbers going into that is dying, right? Like
Yeah.
the number's large, but it's an actively dying number.
But also, it's not like Russia's probably not communicating. Like they're not like, yeah, man, I got like, we got like 2,000 tanks or whatever. Like, they're
Yeah.
probably not being honest about it if they are.
No, probably not.
No.
But yeah, like my point is like the supply of players. I almost call it players like Call of Duty. The supply for like people to join in America would be severely less than the supply in Russia because like Russians would just do it.
Yeah.
You like
Oh, yeah.
all these like, and I mean not that there's anything wrong with it, but like let's look at like all of this LGBTQ plus community. Not a single one of them, in my opinion, or like from what like you can see, they're not going to actively go and fight for their country. And they might love their country, but they're just not fighting for it. Like they're not going to do that.
Well, they're not like angry
just-
people.
It's just not the way that they are. Yeah, and not in a bad way. It's just like you when you look at someone like if you look at somebody in the army, it's just two different personalities.
Yeah,
that
it's
wouldn't like
The,
could never
the,
swap
the
spots.
stereotype just isn't there.
No.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, new COD's fun though.
Nuclear goes hard.
If school wasn't an option for you, what would you do and where would you go? Number 9.
Like, if I couldn't go to school, what would I be doing?
Like if you failed your grade 12
Oh, okay.
and like you're toast, right?
Okay.
What would you do?
So if you couldn't attend post secondary,
So there are people out there that have failed
yeah.
grade 12 and they're just like, oh shit, college is, I can't do it.
Well, I think that's a misconception because there's a college program for literally everything,
For sure.
and as long as you did okay in some regard in any class, then you could probably find something for you.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you just mean like if post-secondary school just wasn't an option, like hypothetically, like or like you really hated school and you just couldn't do it, or you couldn't somehow get the money, blah blah blah, whatever the reason is, if it wasn't an option for me, oh gosh, what would I be doing? I'd probably still be playing games competitively.
Man,
Like,
I'd just
very
be working.
competitively.
I'd probably just be
Well,
working.
I'd be trying to turn like I stopped streaming and stuff because life got busy, which is fine, but I would, and like I'm busy, like I work, I go to school, and then I also do other things.
Yeah.
And like hang out with people and stuff, and so like I just can't find the time to stream as much as I used to, and that's the thing, right? Is if I had that extra time, I would really be trying to build that streaming brand up a lot more.
I get what you're saying. I feel like that's definitely. I feel like I would be working full time and then trying to find a creative endeavor, potentially streaming, potentially making videos, like something just to get out of that loop of life.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, the idea of working 9 to 5 the rest of your life sounds like shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
and
just-
Agreed.
that's where I think I would go. I think that like I would try to make my streaming a means of income. If I
Yeah.
could do that, I don't know. Like maybe I couldn't, but it would be one of my main goals would be to try to do that.
At least grind towards it. Like, it doesn't have to come off the ground right away. Just, like, have it on the back burner and work on it hard, so it's like one day eventually you won't have to.
Especially when like a lot of like smaller streamers do still work, like they work full time and stream part time.
Yeah.
But you know, you come home from your 9 to 5 or 8 to 4,
you gotta sit down,
whatever
and
it
be
is,
energetic and stuff.
Well, it's not even that. Like I mean, I'm an energetic person, just naturally.
Generally, yeah.
Always have been. So like that wouldn't be the hard part for me. It's just like when like for school, for example, after school, I have homework that's due for like the next class or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now I have to put this time in because during school they were presenting and giving us content,
no doubt,
for the 2 hours of class, and now I have to spend 2 hours outside of class getting this document together for school, and it's like, okay, well now that's 2 hours of streaming I can't do because I have to do this homework.
Yeah.
And it takes away from it. But when you just work and there's nothing that, when you're at work, you work, when you're at wherever else, you don't have to worry about it. Then it allows you to have a little bit more time to do that, I think.
Well, yeah, because there's no other responsibilities with your free time.
Yeah.
It's, you have your time to do your shit, and then you have your time not to do your shit.
Yeah.
I do definitely feel like sometimes I get burnt out after, like, working, though, for an 8-hour shift. I'm like, man, let me jump on the stick. Sometimes I want to just lie in bed.
Yeah.
Just take a fucking nap.
That's true. I would agree. I've been burnt out on video games in general lately.
I've honestly been doing the opposite. I was burnt on video games probably for like a year, and then I don't know, something hit. I think it was during reading week when we started grinding late nights. So I was like, this is what I missed, and so I've been hitting it a lot harder. And also, MW just came out. I have God of War Ragnarok I have to play.
Yeah, same.
So it's like I got shit to do now. So maybe I'm just a little more into it. And I've also I have this shit thing with games where like I'll start a game and then I'll just never fucking finish it, like single player games for some reason.
Yeah.
But I kind of like force myself to go through a few games, and then
it's actually funny. The opposite. I can't start a story mode without finishing it in anything. Like I did the COD campaign I played it. After
I almost played it in one sitting. I was pretty close.
I played 14 of the 18 missions in one sitting.
Yeah, I think I got to the spoiler alert, I guess, when they're on the roof and they catch motherfucking bitch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, at the cartel party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to that before I got off and then came back on later.
I think because me and Sam were doing it together.
Like just in a party together. You guys were just like sitting beside each other.
We were like actually.
Oh, like couch co-op type shit.
Yeah, because he was like Mercedes was going out on like to hang out with her friends, like
getting cronked.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Sam doesn't like to hang out with them
when they're drunk.
Well, just in general, it's just not like the friend group that he's with.
Lord.
So, not that he dislikes them. It's just like not his favorite friend group. Yeah. And so he didn't go with them, and I said, well, I'm not doing anything. Let's like play through the campaign. So we did that, and I think we got, again, spoiler alert, just to the end of the driving part.
Oh, that's just crazy.
Where you have to like hop around.
That's the longest driving thing ever.
Catching up to the front of the convoy is super long.
That took me like 30 minutes.
400 vehicles, yeah.
Outrageous.
And I think after that mission, we both just were like burnt out on it because we're like, holy fuck.
That was a long time.
Mission. And so we took a break, and then we finished it the next day.
Yeah, that's basically how I did it. It was like, I just jump on, and then I finished off.
Yeah.
It was good shit, though. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
Nothing like a good old story mission.
But yeah, I'm super excited for Ragnarok.
I am too, man. I'm excited to see how it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some talking points as well. You want me to hit with the first? What's the most fucked up thing you've seen in Brandon? Because you're talking about that in good old Quindoba.
A lot of fucked up things in Brandon.
I could start it off with a story, I guess. One time, like the late night cruises you used to do when you were a kid?
Yep.
You just fucking...
Loser laps of Brandon.
Oh, yeah, just loser laps, man. 3-4 hours just cruising around.
Yeah.
It was like 1 a.m. and some dude was running down the street like straight ass naked, like butt ass naked, yeah, like in front of our car, and there was like cops fucking rolling up and shit like that.
That's crazy.
Guy was just free willy in it. No shave either. Guy was not using a manscaped.
Out or what?
No. Just a lot. Well, maybe he was, but he had a lot of bush.
Was it cold?
Yeah, well, I mean it was it's nighttime.
No, but like was it like the summer night isn't cold?
No, but it's not like it's warm.
Yeah, I mean, I could run around naked and not feel any different.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I'm sweting in regular clothes.
Maybe I didn't like. It's not like I studied this guy's penis when he was running across.
Nah, it's something you would do though.
There's a lot of bush, so I didn't get the full picture on it, but definitely saw it happen in Brandon.
I have a few stories as well. I mean, like, they're not as crazy as that. I mean, there's a few.
Oh, I
that would
got
be close
another
to that.
devious one too,
It'd be
but you can
close
go.
to a few to that, but I don't know. I have a few like top three craziest things I've probably seen in Brandon was I was walking home from the bar one night. Now, just as a picture, I live probably 20 blocks away from the bar.
Yeah, you just walk
And
it
I
out,
walked
man.
the
You're just an
entire-
animal.
It was like an hour and 30-minute walk, and I just walked home.
You're just like, fuck it, yeah. Sometimes it'd be like that, man.
Actually, I think it was like more like 28
Were you by
blocks.
yourself?
Yeah.
No, just,
It was more like 28 blocks, and I had to walk through downtown Brandon. Which, downtown Brandon isn't the scariest place in the world.
but it's not the
but
nicest place.
It's not like you want to walk around in downtown Brandon.
No, not
Well-
at 2 a.m.
It's very hard to jump a guy like you.
That's fair. No one really probably wants to jump me, but
Yeah.
especially after the bar, I'll tell you what, I had no cash on me. They would have just
No
been trying-
cash. You're angry. You don't care if you get hit.
I was pretty upset that night too. Like that's why I walked home.
Yeah, you were like, fuck it, man.
I was like, that was the same night where those girls tried to cut us in line.
Oh yeah, you were cheese that night.
Yeah, I was very upset that night. And so I was walking home, and I walked past this lady who was very nice, actually. She smiled at me. It looked like she was bundled up, ready for work. Like, she was, like, walking to work at, like, 2 a.m. or whatever, maybe, like, a night cleaning shift.
So you
or
just weren't
something.
worried about it.
And I was like, whatever. And then I passed down this really dark back lane, and there's two guys just jibbing out, like, on crack. Like, they were obvious. Like, they were shaking.
Holy shit.
They were, like, this was, like, a couple weeks ago, and they didn't even have, like, they were in T-shirts and stuff. I walked home in a sweater.
And you were cold.
And I was cold. And these guys were like in T-shirts and shorts, and they were just cracked out hard. Like they were like yelling at each other, not fighting or anything, but they were just yelling at each other. They like physically were shaking, like when you're like cold and you're shivering, but
Yeah.
like on like a scale of like 3 times that, just shaking.
Jesus.
And they were just walking towards me, and I was like, I dare him to try, honestly.
You're like, fuck it.
No, but I was like, holy fuck, like I need to get going. This is bad. But yeah, and like I couldn't really make out like what they looked like or anything, but they were just like super like skinny dudes, like just shaking.
You're average crackhead.
And I was like, yeah, this guy's on crack.
Yeah.
You got anything?
Like sketch?
Yeah, even if it's from, hometown.
Brandon?
Yeah,
There's crazy people in Brandon,
there's
man.
a lot.
My buddy, he got his house broken into.
Really? For what? Like just to break into it?
Just to show up, man. Just to get a beer from the fridge.
Probably just your average crackhead, just run low on crack and.
On crack? Just have to get the copper pipings from the wall?
Let me go cop those. We gotta sell those in the market quick.
I live, so I do, like, I'm kind of, like, I'm fucking I'm psychotic, so I drive back and forth from Hamuda
Yeah.
to Brandon.
It's a lot of driving, man.
So instead of paying rent, I spend it on gas.
Gas, yeah.
Which could be arguably less.
Oh my god. Oh, sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
It's all good.
We're having
Alright.
sexy time in here.
Oh,
Excuse me.
gotcha.
Anyways, so I drive. I'm driving. So I just drive past so much stuff without even noticing.
Man, can we talk about how many people just walk the highway in Manitoba?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? It's so weird. Outrageous.
They just start up. Also, all the homeless people for such a small city.
No, yeah,
city.
actually outrageous.
And it's like there's a few regulars you see, but then like every
No, like the
just-
homie with the dreads?
Yeah, that's
he's the
Surfer
homie,
Joe,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he's always chilling, man.
Yeah.
I'd never see him doing anything. He's just chilling.
He's just standing there
Yeah.
in his orange shirt.
Yeah, the same shirt every
Yeah.
time. Gets
Well, I
more
mean, he's
stained.
homeless.
Yeah.
What other shirt does he get on?
That's very fair. He got a dresser down a back alley or
Yeah.
something. I seen him eating ice cream outside of Safeway one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him,
I was
man.
like, fucking get into it, man.
Was it rum raisin?
I don't even know. Oh, God.
Oh man.
Oh, another fucked up thing. I guess we got a fucked up story from Brandon in general. So, another one of those, it was a good old lunch hour in high school, and we were just cruising around. And for some reason, we had the grand idea of picking up the good old craft singlets and smacking them on people's windows.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So, we were turning left, and there was someone in the going straight lane, and we sauced one on the window from like a hella far, and we were like staring at, and we were all laughing and stuff, and this girl just kind of looks at us, and then we obviously turn and get the fuck out of Dodge. So we're turning, and then we kind of get to a stop sign, and as we're turning like back onto 18th Street or whatever, we use this like huge crash behind us, and the girl that we threw the cheese at, just like ran over the curb, hit a stop sign, trying to hit our car over a fucking craft singlet, and was like in the ditch by the bridge, like in that grass patch.
Yeah.
It like spun out, her bumper's gone, like it's just fucked. And then she gets out of her car and just goes, "Fuck you guys!" And then we just bolted, obviously.
just peel out of there.
Yeah, I was like, how bad of a day do you gotta have to get mad about a craft singlet?
Well, enough to try to hit someone.
Man, just take it off. just take it off.
I got two quick ones. They're not a real lot of backstory to them. So I was stopping at a 7-Eleven in downtown, like the one.
Dangerous, man.
Yeah, and there was a dude boxing a garbage bin, like that big metal one, just cracked out again. He was literally boxing the garbage bin.
You gotta get
He was
them reps
punching it
in.
with full strength, and he was like ducking and dodging like it was punching back.
He's just getting it, man. You gotta work on it.
I literally got out, beep beep, went inside, and like I came out, he was still fighting. Like it was like 5 minutes of just pure fighting.
Man, that's some cardio right
and I was
there.
like, holy.
Maybe I should do crack and get some lung capacity going on.
And then another one. One time we were racing. Me and my buddy were in a car.
Oh, dude, I have a racing story
and
too.
we saw someone at lights, and we were racing, and the cops' lights flicked on.
Oh yeah.
We bolted it. We
Just
didn't
zoomed.
stop. We got away from them too. They didn't get our license. Nothing happened. It was pretty sick.
We had one time we ran away from. There was a check stop, and some lady was in the turning lane, and everyone was like, "Oh, we're tripping out because we're underage and like we're drinking or whatever." And the guy on the driver's side wasn't, but like obviously he could get fucked for it.
Yeah.
And we had alcohol in the car or whatever. So this lady beside us in the turning lane was like, "Just cut in front of me." So we turn off this way. And then the cop sees and like chases us down.
Really?
Yeah, but we get down the road and like turn down a side alley and like park the car, turn off the lights and slap the seats back, and he just drove right past and was just gone. It was actually
That's
sick.
incognito mode.
It was actually devious, man.
Yeah.
And then there was another one with racing. We had this. So my buddy's got this shit like Firefly from like the 1980s. Like, you know those like really small cars. He has like 3-cylinder engine in it.
Yeah.
Like just basically a motorbike on 4 wheels. And me and him were hanging out, and then there was this girl I was talking to and her friend,
Yeah.
who was a guy. And he had a BMW. And we had the Firefly, like, "Oh, you want to race?" or whatever as a joke. So we're like bobbing and weaving through traffic or whatever.
Really?
And then we get to a crosswalk, and this guy doesn't hit the light sign. So the guy in the BMW fucking smoked him while we were racing. And like the truck behind him like swerved onto the thing, and we like stopped, obviously. And it's just this guy, high as fuck, not even hurt. Just pretended to be hurt, and and then got in the back of the car. They just drove him to wherever he was going, and they paid him off with like $300. And he was like, "I won't report it. I'm not even hurt." And then he was like asking to light up a J in their back seat and shit. Like he was just chilling after he got smoked by a car.
Yeah, man.
Me and my buddy in the Firefly are like, holy shit.
Yeah, literally.
Just tough. And it wasn't even his. I think it was his dad, so he was definitely tweaking out,
Yeah,
as one would be.
that's funny.
It's some fucked up shit in Brandon. I guess it's just fucked up
it's
stories
actually,
I got.
It's actually crazy how much shit happens in here for being so small.
Dude, yeah. It's crazy that many things has happened to me with fucking people trying to crash cars for some reason.
Yeah,
Never really think about it.
literally. Oh gosh, yeah.
Number 10, Mac or PC?
I mean, Mac, man.
PC. You're stupid if you think that.
Well, I mean, like, it depends what you're using it for.
No, it doesn't.
100%.
No,
Those things I'd rather, like, productivity, I'd rather use a Mac.
no.
Like, gaming,
Why?
shit like
Why?
that, is
Why?
just PC.
Tell me why.
It's just nice.
What's nice about it? The fact that you have to use 2 fingers to scroll up and down. That's nice. That's so stupid.
Portable, slim,
Did you
good
say
battery
portable?
life.
All laptops are portable, man.
Yeah. But a PC, are we calling PC like Microsoft? Like
Yeah.
anything like
so
that?
like anything that like Microsoft develops and anything that Apple develops for either computer like desktop or a laptop like portable.
Okay. I mean, I'd like to try out a Mac.
But
Just
you
because
haven't.
it's bougie. No.
So you literally just said you prefer Mac and you've never used one.
Yeah, well, I like Apple.
Then what are you talking about?
I don't know, man. It looks like
That's me. Me and you argue on this one.
Yeah. Screw you, Brad.
Fuck,
No,
man.
I mean, he obviously knows, right? Like he understands, but
Because I've stuck my dick in this many times,
oh my gosh.
so I know.
Dude, those holes are pretty small.
Yes.
Hey yo. No.
Yeah, I grew up on PC, and I've always wanted to try Mac, and I tried it, and it's so good for school.
Man, I think that the file system on Mac is shit. I think the way that they set up their folders is too awkward. I mean, until you learn it to really maneuver and get to quickly. But everything on Microsoft is developed and has been developed for a long time. Obviously, Apple's has too. but like, you know, Mac was like the leader in the industry and still is, by the way.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But you know, they just have such a quick developed tool for getting what you need when you need it. And that's why I like it for schoolwork. However, it doesn't really have an interactive bottom bar the way Macs do. Like, you know what I mean? Not that, like, on the screen. Like, how it literally has your entire everything, and it also has, like, kind of pages of what you're working on as well. I do enjoy that. Like, obviously, Microsoft has their bottom taskbar, but it's just different.
For sure, for sure.
And I just find... I mean, I would argue that, yes, the stereo system on Mac is crazy.
That thing's goated,
It's crazy
dude.
good, actually. But,
That thing is actually goated.
yeah, it's actually crazy strong. And whereas most PCs audio systems blow, but in terms of graphics and speed, I find Mac, I find Mac to be significantly slower.
Yeah.
And just like general accessibility seems to be, in a word that you used, bougie, right? Like it seems to be fancier,
Well,
which
yeah.
can sometimes make it more difficult to understand.
Well,
That's
there's
why all the white bitches have Mac.
There's-
Just show up.
There's definitely a culture like thing about it. It's like
Yeah.
Starbucks. It's like having a Starbucks cup.
Like
It's the same as
stickers
having
on
like
the back and the whole 9 yards.
yeah, like it's just having a Mac is just
Yeah,
having
like
a Mac.
both of my sisters have a Mac, but I'm like, yeah, how's your Mac? I have a 3060 Ti in my laptop,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
suck my bumhole, you know?
yeah, for sure.
And they're like, what does that even mean? I'm like,
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what it means. It's better than what you have. And they're like, yeah, okay.
I think there's definitely pros and cons with both.
I don't know.
Like I've heard Mac is really good for photo editing. Like really,
Yeah, but,
really
like,
good
you
for
can
photo
just get
editing.
I mean, obviously, it's cheaper than a Mac too, but you can get like Adobe products, get Lightroom, and Lightroom is such an automated editing system that it makes it so quick.
Yeah, it's fair.
Like Adobe Lightroom for editing pictures is super fast, super useful, and they come out at the same quality, assuming that you're using the right camera footage, like you're in the raw. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I have enough experience to form an opinion on Mac, but I definitely don't have as much experience on a Mac as I do on a PC, and that's because I don't like it.
That's fair.
I don't like their keyboard shortcuts either. They don't make a lot of sense to me for Adobe products or just products in general. However, you know, Apple phones will always be better than Windows phones.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's just a fact.
I think that's what it is, and also just Apple is such a seems like such a flex almost. Jesus, man,
What is that?
what is going on?
Oh, Filthy Frank.
Yeah, so yeah, it's
What were you gonna say though, DJ Deuce?
in the DJ business.
Yeah,
This guy is like you become this guy's bitch.
Filthy Frank or
No,
who's
that is Steve
Oh,
Jobs.
Steve Jobs. Yeah, okay.
So, I went to go with Mac, unfortunately, because I wanted to focus on my DJ business.
Yeah.
And like 10 years ago, you had to have Mac for music.
Okay.
So I chose business over video games.
Yeah,
Some-
Mac, you can't really play games on it.
You can't. It's like, it's dog water, man.
Fair enough.
Like I have more fun on my old Xbox One than I do on my Mac.
That's fair.
So if you're going to school, Mac is a good option. But if you're just wanting to play games, stay far away from Mac.
Or even if you want both. You know what I mean? Because I know you use it for both, Eric.
Yeah,
Like you use your laptop not only for school
but games.
but games. So it's
Yeah.
like okay to have these like
And I
maybe
can-
less like refined ways of getting files and all this other stuff, or less accessibility, just so you can play games. Because it's really not that big of a difference.
Well, I don't know. I just find that, you know, PCs, or not PCs, sorry, like my Windows computer works insanely well for everything. Like, you know, obviously I spent a lot of money on it because I need it to do
Everything,
everything,
literally anything you're
which
doing.
makes it super good. But it also matters a little bit. I think if you're new to computers and you want something reliable just to use as a computer, you don't need it for anything. Go with an old MacBook, because you know Apple has very good virus software, like insanely good antivirus software. So it allows people that don't know a lot to avoid putting themselves in a situation that they're going to lose a lot of money trying to repair it.
Yeah,
Now, if you like computers, and like gaming, and having something that's good at everything except for like maybe poor graphics or like like screen graphics, poor audio outputs, then go with the Windows in my opinion. But like that's just me though.
And if you're running low on money, then it's really easy. You have no choice but to go with Windows.
Man, we're not doing that one.
What, the one?
You know which one?
You mean the one with your controversial hot take?
Oh, we can do that. Yeah.
So, what was this? This was in a car when I was dropping off Eric. He said probably the most craziest hot take I've ever heard in my life.
No, it's a goated hot take.
No. All right, I'll just spit it out here.
Spit it. Do it.
Eric said, end quote, cocaine is better than weed.
It is.
In the healthy department. Like, it's more healthy to do cocaine than weed.
I would say that not healthy. I would say that I don't know. No, I'm good. I would just argue that like, cocaine as a whole is just, how do I explain this? As someone who's never done cocaine before in my life, I obviously don't really know the side effects, but I know what some people have done. I know what it does. And, weed is very much a drug that makes you, you're like slower.
Yeah.
It makes your brain slower. Yeah. Now, cocaine is the opposite. It makes your brain work quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in large quantities, weed would be better than cocaine. Mm-hmm. If you're taking like, an entire pound of coke in a night, I mean, number one, you're probably dead.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But like, also, your brain's going to be just fried because it's going to be moving way too quick. But if you're looking for something, just to do, and a lot of people are like, oh, I smoke weed before I go to bed. Fine, whatever. You can't do coke before you go to bed.
I do coke before I go to bed every single night.
But if you were to like, if it was like 1 o'clock and you're looking for something to like make your brain stimulated, which is why a lot of people do drugs to stimulate their brain. And obviously, like I said, I haven't done it, so it's just research. But like, cocaine will just help your brain move quicker, and I would argue that it would help it, do things better. As long as it's not taken in large quantities, based on what I've, researched and seen from other people. Now, that's not to say that that's a for sure thing, but that's just my argument for that.
I will agree with you on the point of like, I don't think cocaine's as bad as everyone makes it out to be.
Yeah.
There's like people like Joey Diaz, the comedian, did coke for like fucking 25 years and he's still kicking at like 50. Where it's like if you did heroin for 25 years, you're dead 15 years before your 25 years is up. But like, I think I get what you're saying. It's like different purposes, but I definitely don't think like snorting that shit's probably not good for you, man.
The general intake of it is probably terrible for your body.
But I feel like smoking isn't the best.
But smoking isn't the best either. But nobody wants to snort something up their nose. Like, not only are you could possibly get blockages, but when there's foreign bodies going into your nose like overreacts to it and just like literally starts fueling mucus and like just boogers, I guess. Like, it just makes your nose blocked like that. And you can see it a lot all the time on people that do coke all the time. Yeah. They have huge blockages in their nose. They're sniffing all the time, but they also like get super nasally when they talk because it's blocked, right? And but yeah, you can see like and their noses are like stiff because they've like a crust of mucus, of booger that's hardened on it. Because it's meant to protect the skin from absorbing the foreign substance that's being constantly pushed into their nose.
Do you think coke addicts can like eat their own boogers and get high again?
No.
Don't think so?
No. There is something called gumming though, if you don't know what that is.
I have heard of gumming. That's where they like put the coke on their gums.
Yeah,
and it absorbs
they rub it on their gums and it like absorbs it quicker.
Like the same way like they do with like chewing tobacco absorbs nicotine.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I would argue that it is if it's something to do casually, I would like to say coke is better.
Okay. Because
it makes your brain work better. Like, I mean, obviously there's certain things like, it overstimulates, like things like your touch. So like, and like your body temperature. Like, I know that some people like will do coke and not be cold. Or people will do coke and think that they can run forever. Yeah. And that's like overstimulation. So, but if you're smart and you do it in a controlled manner, I think that it can be more beneficial than weed will ever be.
Or you could just do Adderall.
Which is basically coke. Did you know that?
No.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
So why don't we just give?
I have no idea.
Why don't we just give people with ADHD coke, man?
Amen.
That sounds like a terrible idea, honestly.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Brad will have to try it. I heard he has ADHD.
Yeah, man. I might have to do a bunch of coke.
Yeah.
I'll probably do it like in class.
Yeah.
All three of us have ADHD.
Just doing
I think
coke.
I do have acute ADD.
I feel like everyone does at this point.
Well, I feel like everyone has everything at this point. Everyone has something to complain about and say that they have. That's why I don't like to go around and say I have anything, because I don't like being
feel
that
like-
guy. I feel like it's very pick me.
I feel like
Pick me.
the whole ADHD thing, like a lot of people have it because everyone's attention span is just so small now.
So many stimulants, right?
Oh, it's
that
so
people
easy, man.
Want to go do something.
You watch
else.
6-second video and just get punched in the dick with dopamine, and then you just go to the next one and get punched in the dick again.
Yeah.
And then I can never pay attention to anything.
No.
Especially from when I was a kid, man. When I was a kid, I could like stare at a wall for an hour. Nah, I can't even stand there
That
for 10
sounds so
seconds.
boring.
Man, it was. I read the same books like 8 times in one sitting. Like,
Really?
It
I
was
couldn't
just
do it. I've
dangerous.
never been able to really read books, but like I could focus myself on something. But I have this knack, and like people will think I'm doing nothing, but my brain is just turning constant. Like I'm always just like creating something in my brain.
I'm just fucking
Like
thinking,
I don't
man.
know if other people do this, but like as a dude, like I'm constantly thinking about just weird, funny shit. Like I always think about what I would do in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, all the time, dude.
Which
Going
can be
to
talked
bed, I
about
do it all the
later.
time.
Okay, which can be talked about later in maybe a future episode, possibly. But we'll see. We'll see.
I definitely have the fantasies. Late night, man, I'm just
Like, you have
thinking about
fantasies
shit.
like that all the time.
I had the weirdest one. Last night I was trying to sleep. I was
Yeah.
like, what would I do if someone tried to mug me? And then I was like, imagine me like beating the shit out of them. Like,
Yeah.
like just like Reacher style, like just
Yeah.
going crazy John Wick on them. Obviously that would never happen, but it's fucking sick to think about.
Yeah, no, it is for sure. Like, and that's what like, that's actually that's one of the things that keeps me awake. Probably is when I sleep. So people are like, "Oh, count sheep, and go to bed," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'd rather think about what would happen if a nuclear war happened. What I'd do."
Man, I used to always think about like, I would like create a sick ass like secret lair in my bedroom that I would like go into. It'd be like a gaming haven, like my
Yeah.
man cave. I just create in my head.
Oh yeah, man caves all the time, and those are constantly evolving too, right?
Oh yeah.
That's the thing about these fantasies and things that you just randomly think about in your brain, is they're always changing because you always see something else and you're like, that would be sick. Like for example, I always thought like for a zombie apocalypse, I would be like super sicked out on guns, like I'd have like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
truck, and then I watched like The Walking Dead with Michonne for like the first time, and I was like, swords would be fucking sick, man.
Nah,
And
swords
then
would
the
be
next
dope.
fantasy, I had like a dual wield sword similar
Fucking
to like
ninja,
Darth
man.
Maul's lightsaber, you know? And I was like, that'd be fucking deadly.
Just killing in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
When I'm literally sitting there, I think. But when I'm up, like, when I'm using my hands, my brain turns off.
Yeah. It's kind of autopilot mode, right?
Yeah, like, I don't even remember, like, what I was doing.
Man, I keep thinking when I'm using my hands, that's when I get in my thought process, and I'm just not paying attention to what I'm doing with my hands. It's
Yeah,
like going.
like,
especially if it's like a habit or like something I do often, like, I'm
Like,
folding
when
laundry or something like that.
Well, when I'm doing stuff for like school, for example, I'll just be like, I'll do what Dawson was saying, was where I'll literally just stop thinking about anything in my brain and just hyper focus on this. And then once it's done, I sit back in my chair, fold my arms, and I'm like, and then instantly something weird just pops into my head, and I like think about a whole scenario of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's just a common thing. I don't know if girls do it either, but I know.
I don't think so.
Girls, apparently, they think 24/7.
Really.
Apparently, they don't have the. I've heard they don't have the ability to not think.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Like their inner voice thing that you hear can talk to yourself. Apparently, that never turns off.
Like thinking about what though?
Just
like,
everything.
Like fantasy stuff, or just always
Like talk to themselves, like just about surroundings and stuff, from what I've heard. Yeah,
Like, their brain does not turn off.
like impossible
Like,
for them to shut it off.
I mean, I would argue that like when I'm thinking about fantasy and stuff, my brain isn't off, like it's working. But there's plenty of times where I've just sat there, just mind, not like just numb, just not doing anything. Where I've literally just been like I've completely zoned out, and I can do that pretty much on command.
Like I would argue this whole
So you're a
podcast.
Buddhist.
No,
Man, must be. I would argue this whole podcast having had a self-talk thought. You know what I mean? Like when I'm like saying something to myself in my head.
what do you mean?
Like you know, like you say
Like you're
something
not
to
saying it
yourself.
beforehand?
Yeah, like in my head, I'm not.
Oh yeah, like practicing it almost.
Yeah, or like when you like, oh, that's a sick idea to myself in my head. I'm like, oh, I should bring that up. It's just like flowing, and I don't think.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I'm not thinking about anything that we've talked about. Like we've had some touch points, which I think is important to like at least bring it up.
Mm.
You know. But yeah, like for sure, like my brain is just like pumping words out at this point,
Just pumping, man.
harder than I pump
what-
milfs.
That's what I'm thinking about. Is just pumping milfs.
Yeah.
Final question, because you gotta go do your shooting half an hour.
I do have to do my shooting in half an hour.
Why are you so goddamn sexy?
Genetics, man.
Why does Brad have such a huge cock?
Thank you, Chris Skirton, for that one, man. Thank you, Father. Appreciate it.
It's just my humor. That's what's sexy about me. I'm not actually sexy.
I don't know, man.
I'm a ginger man. I can't be sexy.
Dude, the neck beard really gets to me sometimes.
Okay, shut the fuck up. I have to shave, okay? Leave me alone.
Dude, I just shaved for this photo shoot. It was bad, too.
I have to... I want to go to a barber, but I want it to be long enough that I can actually do something with it.
Like trim it instead of just shave it? No, for sure. I want to get like a nice shave sometime.
Yeah, like that's exactly what I was thinking. But yeah, my humor definitely makes me sexy. And my fat cock, of course.
Nice.
Soda can cock, yeah.
Yeah,
The soup can cock.
Well,
is dangerous.
yeah, they called me Young Mushroom.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're from Chodeville.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yep. I'm good for the first 3 inches, trust.
Man, as if anyone's actually taking that serious.
Brad just sitting over there already lost. Man, I would...
I didn't even try.
Yeah, lots of people just don't do it anymore.
Really?
Have you tried?
I haven't ejaculated in...
9
is it,
days?
it's the 8th today, no?
9th.
9.
I haven't ejaculated in 9 days.
Man, my balls would implode.
Man, I actually like... No, not November. Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Semen retention is
Maybe
hyping you
hot
up.
take. It is actually a big thing that I like to do once a year.
It's definitely like a self-control thing. It's like, I can do this.
Semen
Yeah.
retention is actually huge as well. Like it boosts testosterone.
Oh, for sure.
And it like makes you as a maybe a dude even, maybe not a woman. Like I don't know if women have ever tried not to come. I mean, most of them
that's a
probably
thing.
don't anyway. But
Never do, man.
Not with
their
me.
time trying to like make guys boobs, if you know what I mean.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's their dopamine rush. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good. Like especially if you like can stop for a little bit just to.
Man, you know what I have tried, and I just get sweaty. Just all the time.
You just get sweaty.
Yeah.
You just sweating in class.
Yeah, just like existing sweaty. It's weird.
I definitely enjoy doing semen retention, and I mean it super seriously, just because it allows you as a person, I think, like as a person, an individual, to like just grow a little bit. Like you
Keep your mind off the sexy things, man.
and then honestly,
This
the
is a
next time
dangerous thing.
you have, what are you recording me for?
I don't know.
The next time you, that's right. This guy's post production is goated. He'll edit all this out.
Yeah.
Also, can we retake the picture that you're going to use? Like, I saw that picture you took, but I want to be able to sit up straight so I don't look as fat. You can leave this in, by the way.
Then we can like thumbs up and shit or something.
There. I like
That's
that.
way sexier.
Yeah.
I like that's way more.
We're way sexier, eh?
Yeah.
W zone, man.
Oof, baby.
No, definitely losing on November. That
And
photo.
we'll have to think. We'll have to think of a title and everything.
Yeah.
Oh man, some raw dude just shared a TikTok with me.
Nothing like a raw TikTok, man. That sharing thing is dope.
So when you have an iPhone and
It just auto
You can
goes
just-
up to iCloud, right?
That's dope.
so when you get like
So I guess going back to that Mac PC thing, I guess that's probably nice.
That's pretty goated.
Because like when I take a picture on my phone, I literally have to either plug it in or send it.
or create a draft in your email
or
and then
send
save it.
Well, Teams.
Oh,
You can
okay. Yeah.
upload stuff to yourself on Microsoft Teams.
Okay, I've been putting a good old thing in Outlook, and then just leaving it in drafts and just downloading it.
the draft.
Yeah, and then just downloading it.
Fair. Yeah, like if anyone hacked my Microsoft Teams, they could have access to my driver's license.
It's a W, man.
That's all though.
Too easy, man. Too easy.
okay, so
Yeah, this is the Simmons suite too.
yeah.
Man, make me.
I don't
get me
know
on
why
there,
I'm
I'll
getting-
throw it a lick.
I don't know why I'm getting so close.
You
Like this
Yeah,
audio. That's an acoustic right there. Play
it's
it.
an acoustic, right?
Play
there.
it.
You want to play it right
Play
now?
it.
I don't know.
Play it.
Do they have a cable or something?
No, just play it. It's an acoustic guitar. You don't need one.
No, but I could use one.
Man, grow up.
Depends what I want to play, man.
I can't play guitar. I can play the clarinet.
He can play.
It's on the wind, man.
Does on the wind. Oh, the lefty.
The dangerous bass, man.
This sounds like shit, but I got you.
Dude, it's hard without an amp to run.
Don't worry about what that was.
That's fun.
No, I got a lot more into electric, like
I love the fact
in like blues and shit. Hidden blues and shit.
Interesting. Yeah, I have no creative thing. Like, I don't do anything creative with my hands.
No.
you don't game?
Well, I guess if you call that creative, but like, I can't like play an instrument or like, I'm in graphic design, but I can't draw for shit.
Same thing with Derek.
Yeah. Okay, just outdoor teacher. He's not bad. He's better than me.
Derek is actually so humble. You could actually really draw. I have so much respect for him.
When he spends time on it, for sure.
I just love how the fact that he's just like the most mature man I've ever met. Even though that he's dying, he's gonna probably be dead tomorrow. That's just how it is.
Hey,
Well, Derek.
out of the blue,
Well,
man.
no. Derek is a great teacher, but he's not like old, but he has a lot of medical issues, right?
His body is not the best.
Yeah, which sucks.
That is tough,
He's a
man.
great person.
Always happens to the best ones, eh?
Yeah, it's like you either have the best personality, but you're gonna die tomorrow, or you have a shitty personality, but you live
Just
forever.
staying around forever. It's like every reality TV show ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the shitty ones stay till the end.
Yeah. If this was a reality TV show, Brad would be around forever. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. Thanks,
Well
guys,
talking,
for listening.
man. Yeah.
I appreciate it, and especially if you stayed to the end. I think we all appreciate
Bah.
it. Go today.
Bah.
And you know, we think we're gonna do a few more episodes. Probably just see. I guess we'll probably see what this one does and how it works because podcasts are long.
It's also easy to just jump in the booth, though.
Yeah, true.
Especially at ACC, this shit's just available. So
Yeah, like the thing with podcasts is, and that's why I said I appreciate everyone staying, is because, you know, a lot of people don't watch the whole thing. It's an hour, you know, or listen to the whole thing, especially without like visual.
it's an hour, man. Yeah.
Well, this one's closer to 2 now.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah, and so we might have to just cut some stuff out just to cut it out.
No
but-
doubt.
That's fine. So you want a video or do you want just
No.
SoundCloud?
That's fine. Like I'll also just share it to my social media platforms. But like I was saying, like, you know, when in podcasts, when all you hear is audio, it can be a little bit more you know, boring for people to just listen to.
No doubt.
Even if you make good content, people might not want to listen to it.
No,
Yeah.
especially
So like
long.
if we can at some point, you know, start
video.
providing some video content with it, I think that's a big thing that
It'd
people
be
would enjoy.
huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Just to have something to watch while you're doing it.
Yeah, because like that's why
How
I
hard
watch.
is it to put in video into like something like
Super easy. The hardest part would be aligning
Okay.
the voices, right?
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'll just show a picture of your face
Yeah.
and then a picture of his face. And
While we're talking?
and it'll pass back and forth because I have a pretty cute picture of the guys together, and then
Yeah.
so we'll just like it'll
Sure.
just pass back and forth. I'll just do like a bunch of editing.
Yeah, but for the future, like putting video in, it's not that hard. Especially in Premiere, it's pretty easy to just put a video and link them. The hardest part is like making sure that
aligning it.
that it's aligned, right?
Yeah.
Like especially if you have to make cuts to the video, like itself. Yeah, because I worked a little bit. I'm not.
Can you cut both at the same time? Or are you trying to like
Yeah,
make it,
but,
but it
like-
won't look seamless on the video? is
No,
the thing,
you
right?
can do that, but the problem therein lies is like, you know, there might be something on the video that you did
Can I show you a file?
that doesn't make sense to like to like the audio. You know what I
'Cause
mean?
I know we've been trying to put video in the Drunk Monkeys podcast.
Yeah, like like what I was saying though, like when you
Just never figured it
when you
out.
cut them both at the same time, you can do that. But when you're like it's when with headshots like that, you have to make sure that the lips are matched.
Yeah.
So like if you cut both, you have to cut an entire sentence, and you have to wait for like a break, or you have to like cut it at like a millisecond, basically.
Oh wow.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
I put my school files in the cloud.
All of mine are on the ACC.
OneDrive.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Big mistake.
I'm gonna do an outtake that no one's gonna interrupt this time, so we can cut it and put it on the thing.
I'm just dropping shit. During
So
the
I appreciate everyone listening, and I hope that you guys will stick around for some more episodes. Thanks.
bye.
Bye. No.